productivity is a lot about finding the joy in the work that you have to do. So if you're not excited about it, if you don't feel like doing it, then your productivity will be low. A lot of us feel very shy to ask for help and support from our team members and our bosses. If you're feeling overwhelmed, if you're feeling stressed, there's no harm in asking for a deadline extension from a boss if you're working on something that's critical. It's not about just adding a ping pong table in the office anymore. That's going to get them to come to work. You have to think about other things like, mental health days. Paternity leave is something that we need to start talking about. Hi everyone, my name is Mehar Sindhu Batra. I'm a digital content creator as well as a career coach, here talking to HD Health Shots about all things careers, motivation, and balancing work with home. So hopefully you'll find this conversation useful. I think it's a combination of both. You're right, like it could be either of the two. Like if you're feeling positive in one day, you'll feel productive to do a task. And if, let's say, your productivity is high, then the positivity will flow. I think it's actually the first one. If you're feeling positive, then you will be productive. Let's say you wake up and you're in a grumpy mood, then your productivity may be hampered unless you have a deadline on your head. I think it's definitely productivity is a lot about finding the joy in the work that you have to do. So if you're not excited about it, if you don't feel like doing it, then your productivity will be low. And to me also, it's not like I'm positive or productive all the time. I'm also human. Everybody's human. So when you're feeling a little bit low, there's something called as toxic positivity and toxic productivity as well, that you're constantly working and then you burn out. So it's important to take breaks and realize, okay, I'm not feeling my 100% right now. Maybe I should do a task that doesn't need too much brain power, and I can just take it easy. And then when I'm feeling a little bit better, you can do the task that's really important. So I think they are closely connected, but not everybody has the option to take it easy. I understand that many times. And then that's the time when you have to really push yourself and do the task that you need to do. And maybe you'll find a little bit of happiness doing it once you accomplish doing the task. The new generation that has come into the workforce, that is what we call the Gen Z, they are very sure of what they really want. And they're not going to stick around in an organization that doesn't support them and has like toxicity or is not, contributing to a higher purpose that they wish to be a part of. So I think in terms of the Indian population having so much potential now, people can look at it negatively and think, okay, that means there are so many young people, that means I'm competing with more people. But you have to think about it collectively. Like as an economy, the world is our oyster now. Everybody's talking about India, right? It's literally so booming. Like every conversation you'll have with somebody, okay, you're from India, oh wow, okay, that's probably the next superpower that we need to watch out for. So I think we have to think of all of us as one instead of competing with each other. And I think as a society, what we need to do is literally listen to what our employees really want. So instead of throwing these rules and regulations and inflexibility down to them, I think it's about listening and really setting up a culture in the organization where people are supportive, where people want to work and people want to stick around. It's not about just adding a ping pong table in the office anymore. That's going to get them to come to work. You have to think about other things like, mental health days. Paternity leave is something that we need to start talking about. How are we going to support people who had issues at home? There's so much now that people are looking out and seeking work at organizations, even if there are smaller companies, that are going to literally support them, not just financially, but also have a bigger purpose that they are working towards. And that's the conversation that I feel, that's the difference I see, the contrast I see between Gen Z and millennial. I'm millennial, but I can see the younger people are not going to stick around if they don't believe in what you're saying, or if they have if they don't get the support that they want. So I think as a society, as organizations, we need to really hear and probably do regular employee surveys to figure out what is it that our workforce really wants. I think it's great. Like, I think that there should be. I think now, in fact, I've seen on LinkedIn and all, I think people started talking about this, that especially organizations which have a lot of female workforce have started to give menstrual leave days as well, which is fantastic. Like, of course, we go through so much on a monthly basis that, you know, we just have to be okay and just bear the pain and come to work. So I feel definitely, I think we should definitely include that, and not include that in the sick days quota that we get. It should be something that's separate, and everybody should have the option to take it on. If they don't want to take it, that's fine, but if they want to, it should just be something that our bodies go through and we should respect, employers should respect, and yeah, just give it to the women who need it. Women who have been fired literally need to speak up, because if your establishment has more than 10 employees and if you've been in the organization for more than 80 days in the last 12 months, you are legally allowed to go on annual leave, paid maternity leave for 26 weeks. So I think a lot of women are not aware of the rights that they have as expecting mothers. So if your organization fits in the criteria of that law, you should definitely speak up. You can get the support that you need. And honestly, I think the conversation needs to start now, because if there is a law to support these women, then why are we not talking about it? Why is nobody aware about their rights? So I feel if organizations are doing that, they need to pull up their socks, because change is coming, and they need to support these women who are as capable as anybody else. So instead of finding temporary solutions to a bigger problem that you may need to deal with in a couple of years anyway, find solutions now. Don't let go of good staff just because of something that they're going through that is so normal. And I think it all comes down to, it's like gender discrimination as well as gender pay gap that we notice, how women's careers get impacted because of pregnancy and motherhood. I think it's high time that organizations start supporting these women, and I don't think women should feel bad about it. We just need to voice it, and we don't voice it because we don't know our rights. So I would say educate yourself, figure out what is the support that this organization should be giving you, and talk about it openly. I feel we feel stressed out when we think that we don't have too much time to do the tasks that we have to do. So for me, it's if I'm feeling stressed, I would make a list of all the things that are stressing me out. Like, let's say I have a long and never-ending to-do list. So I think if you're feeling stressed, figure out what is stressing you, and do a brain dump and write everything down, and then see if maybe if it's literally exceeding your work day, if it's more than 8-hour long list, then see what kind of support you need. If you can talk to your team members and you can delegate some of the stuff to them, take support. I think a lot of us feel very shy to ask for help and support from our team members and our bosses. If you're feeling overwhelmed, if you're feeling stressed, there's no harm in asking for a deadline extension from a boss if you're working on something that's critical. Or I would say, really, like, what works for me is just that meditating in the morning if I'm feeling really stressed. If you can, take out 5-10 minutes just to do some breath work and listen to some soft music or meditational kind of music in the morning. It will just help you calm your nerves and think about the bigger perspective and what you're working towards that day. So stress also comes and goes. So if you're feeling stressed on a regular basis, then maybe you need help. But if it's a usual thing, if it's just a day-to-day thing, then I'm sure you can find a way to balance it out. But different things work for different people.